So as I'm sure a lot of you know by now, trading psychology is the key to being profitable at trading. Or is it? Well, today we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to explain why trading psychology isn't necessarily the thing that's holding you back, and it's in fact a symptom of a much deeper problem. So as I'm sure you've heard, trading psychology is one of the big issues that people face. And the three big ones are FOMO, greed, and revenge trading. Now, these are all issues that are caused by a weak psychology approach. So how can we change our approach when it comes to psychology? I'm sure all of you have struggled with one of the three things that I've just mentioned, and a lot of you aren't able to become profitable because one of these issues is plaguing you. So how do we get over it? Well, it's kind of not what you think. So getting over these issues actually stems to a much deeper problem, and there's a much simpler way to fix it than by simply working on your psychology, which is what a lot of gurus tell you to do. Now, this is kind of like telling an anxious person, stop being anxious.
Well, it can't stop me from being anxious!
It's the same here, where you're trying to tell a trader, oh, fix your trading psychology. It's like, okay, but how? It's not that simple. So today I'm going to give you some actionable steps that you can use to actually change your trading psychology and perhaps become profitable. Now, one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that trading psychology is actually heavily linked to your trading strategy. Your trading strategy is often the deep root of the problems that you're having with your trading psychology. And a lot of people say that trading strategy is only 20% of the equation and 80% is psychology, and that's nonsense. I would say that 80% of it is your strategy and 20% of it is your psychology. The reason for that being is that your strategy can dictate your psychology. Let me give you an example. If, for example, you struggle with greed, okay, so now I need a strategy that allows me to get in and out quickly. I want a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio or a 1-to-1.5 risk-reward ratio. This then allows me to get my profits quickly and get out of the market without having to decide whether I'm going to hold it for long periods of time. Okay, so let's say you're struggling with FOMO. All right, FOMO is not a problem. Just change your strategy to allow you to trade only one time a day. If you're trading one time a day, the fear of missing out is already gone because you can only take one trade for that day. And if you lose and you start to become emotional over that loss, well, you're going to have to stew with it for the next 24 hours until the next day where you can take your next trade, where you are now more calm and not in an emotional state of mind. And overtrading, also really simple. The same thing. Trade once a day and make it part of your trading strategy. It's that easy. Trade once. If it works out, move on. If it doesn't work out, move on as well. Wait till tomorrow so that your emotions can settle down. And this right there is how you fix your trading psychology, by tweaking your strategy. If you've got a solid strategy, you're not going to have these intense emotional problems with trading. Approaching trading in a logical, mechanical way, like a robot, is going to improve the way that you are able to trade. Now, the other thing is that a lot of strategies require a lot of discretion, which means that you're trying to make a lot of different decisions, and there are a lot of variables with those decisions. So for example, you can look at a trend line and say, that's a good trend line or that's a bad trend line. But what makes it a good trend line and what makes it a bad trend line to trade? Well, there's certain variables, okay? These variables can be, okay, it's at this angle, okay? It's got this many touches on the trend line. So we can make these variables a lot more concrete. So the key thing to making your psychology better by tweaking your strategy is to limit your options with trading. Limiting your options and limiting your discretion as far as possible. Now, limiting your options means that your brain needs to think less about making important trading decisions. And the way we can do this is by simplifying our strategy as much as possible. This is why the strategy that I trade currently is super simple. I trade a very small window of time where I need to make decisions, and I'm in and out very quickly because I know that I have a problem with greed, I have a problem with FOMO, and I have a problem with revenge trading. But because I'm trading a small window and I only take one trade a day, all of those problems are fixed. And because I know I have a very small amount of decisions to make, i.e. I'm just looking for a breakout and a retest on the 5-minute, making sure that I'm not trading into a big 4-hour zone that is strong, or if I'm going short, not trading into a 4-hour support that is then going to bounce me off long term. So I limit my decisions to make my psychology much easier to deal with. And that is how your strategy can affect your psychology. If you do the actions and the steps that I've outlined in this video, it will make dealing with your trading psychology that much easier. Thank you everybody for watching. I'll see you in the next one.